Okay. So I stopped with the communism. Now we go to the almost last part of our course on Marxism. Okay. Okay. Three more things are there. Last part of our course. Okay. So the critical comments. Okay. Critical comments. Now so far we have seen the philosophy of Marxism in a nutshell, in general. Okay. Now let's evaluate. Okay, the philosophy of Marx. Evaluate the philosophy of Marx. You can give your observations also. Okay, you can give your points, observations, questions, reflections, etc. Okay. Now first, when we evaluate the philosophy of Marx or Marxian philosophy, first one is base structure model or two-tier system. Now, this session may end sometime, so we'll rejoin for 10 minutes with it ends. Okay. So first one is base structure model or base structure model, base structure superstructure, or two-tier system. One tier is base structure, the other tier is superstructure. You see the picture here. Picture will tell you the foundation is the base structure. In the foundation, what is there? Natural resources, means of production, means of production. There is one box there. Remove that. Doesn't move. Okay. So natural resources, means of production, and means of distribution. That's the foundation. And superstructure, you see, superstructure. Superstructure, there is law, politics, so everything comes. Art, religion, morality, poetry, philosophy, everything comes in the superstructure. So according to this figure, everything is determined by the base structure. The base structure determines the superstructure. BS means base structure, SS means superstructure. And ideas reside in the superstructure. Ideas reside in the superstructure. So, but one of the critical comments we can look at is superstructure also can determine the base structure. Marx is limiting everything to material base. Okay, but we have ideas, the law, politics, sometimes determine the base structure also. Okay, and somebody's this audio is on. Kindly mute yourself. So superstructure also can determine the base structure. One of the comment on Marxian philosophy. Okay, counter comment could be superstructure also determines the base structure. Material expansion alone does not hold good. Everything does not depend on materiality. There is something more, something different, something extra. Okay, material expansion alone does not hold good. Sometimes both determine each other. Base structure determines superstructure and superstructure determines base structure. Whereas Marx limits everything to the base structure and says base structure determines the superstructure. When there are many causes, can base structure be the primary cause? Can you conclusively assert base structure as the cause of everything, that which influences everything? So that is again can be questioned. That again can be questioned. So this idea of Marx looks to be a scientific hypothesis, scientific guess. He has explained scientifically, but which does not come true in real human existence, actual human life. So it looks like a hypothesis, guess, which is not really actually practical, not established truthfully in the human existence. It looks scientific hypothesis because there are thousands of causes in human history which have changed the structures of the society. Okay, there are thousands of causes in history which determines the running of the society. Running of the society. So this is the first comment we make on the philosophy of Marx, base structure model or two-tier system. Two-tier system. Next.
Slide, Father.
Yeah.
Previous slide.
Yeah. Okay. 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 You tell me once it is over. You tell me.
Yes, Father.
So shall I move or somebody else needs to move
Wait,
down?
wait, Father.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. Yes, Jayant, you are speaking something.
Yes, Father.
Yes. So others also have finished. Okay.
Yes, Father, finished.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, now second point, that is setting PowerPoint setting is the problem. Okay, second point has come there. Don't look at the third point. Second point, second point is Marx class theory also has a problem. What is the theory of class according to Marx? There will be only two classes: the working class at the base, and the working class. What is that? John has commented something. I did not. I cannot read it. Okay, I'll read later. If it is urgent, you can tell me. Okay, I'll continue. Marx class has the has a problem. Class theory has a problem. Class theory, what is that? The proletariat and the bourgeois, slaves and the master, working class and the owning class. So Marx takes the whole universe as having only these two classes. But there is a problem. He asserts only two classes. But what about if you take world at large? There are different other religious groups. Okay, based on religion, the working class itself will not identify with each other. Okay, there's a problem. The Christian working class, Muslim working class, Hindus working class. So this is another issue. Then what about countries? One country will not identify itself with another country. They have their own ideologies. Okay, so Marx class system cannot be taken as a general criteria working all over the world. Okay, this is another problem. Okay, another problem. So it is difficult to determine the identity of groups or identity of classes. Though Marx has identified everyone under these two classes, it is difficult to identify everyone under these classes because of the religious variety or geographical variety, geographical plurality. It is difficult to determine the identity. This is the second problem. Okay, second critique. Third one is Marx asserts historical change by class struggles. According to Marx, class struggle is inevitable, which has to be there for a historical change. If you want to establish something historically, if you want to change the nature of the society, there should be class struggle, working class asserting themselves and overthrowing the owning class. So, what is the problem? Changes have also happened in history without class struggle. There have been many times changes which have happened without class struggle. Here, class struggle can also mean the force, the violence. Okay, Marx to a certain extent justifies the class struggle or the force. Okay, to meet the interests of the working class. Sometimes there are changes which do not happen by subordinate class also. For Marx, the class at the lower rung of the society, at the base of the society, which will cause the revolution, the social change. But we critique and say sometimes there have been changes in the history which have not come from the subordinate class, the working class, or the lower class. It fails to allow the possibility of gradual reform by itself. Okay, so at one stage you realize something and you go for a change. Such possibilities are not really entertained by Marxism. Okay, it basically proposes some kind of force and violence. Okay, so it fails to establish social change through some other ways. So the dictatorship of the proletariat will again lead to, one minute, that photo is, my image is there. So the dictatorship of the proletariat will again lead to abuse. What is the problem here? It is good that working class will overthrow the capitalist class, but again, when the working class becomes the dictator, there will be abuse again. There will be abuse again. So next, in 5 minutes, the class may end. Okay. Okay. Next, second point is not clearly seen. Somebody said, is it not seen? What about others? Shall I move to the next slide?
Yes, brother.
Yes, Father.
Okay. Okay. Next, fourth one is there is some setting problem with this PowerPoint. So fifth point comes first, fourth point comes next. Okay. I did not realize. Okay. Now fourth one is no detailed Marx does not give a detailed explanation of communism. Though Marx envisions a communist form of society, but there is no detailed explanation on the nature and structure of communism given by Marx. So he says, in communist society, in communism, there will be a movement from, there will be a shift from each according to ability to each according to his need. This we have been saying since the beginning. Now the question is, who decides the ability or the need? Who decides the ability or the need? For example, I say I need a tab. I need a computer tab. Okay, but who decides my need? Do I really require it? Or I just want to show to others that I have a gadget? Or is it my real need? Or for mental satisfaction? Or to show that I possess something? Who decides a need? Or somebody says he got second rank because of his ability. But can we take it as ability? Is it the real ability of that person? For example, in the class, yeah, in the class, he may not be helping others. He may be hiding the notes of others, or he may be pleasing the teacher, or in the library, he may be hiding the particular book which is required by all. So, can we call this as real ability? So, there is a problem in determining what is ability and what is need. Okay, what is need? Whereas somebody else in the class who may not be good in studies, but he reaches out to all. Is it not a ability? Though it is not noticed by all, is it not an ability, inbuilt ability? So the problem here in Marxism is who decides the ability or who decides the need? It is good that we should shift from each according to his ability to each according to need. But who decides what the need is or how much the need is, what is the ability is? So, is equal society possible in these terms? No. Equal society is not possible. Why? If everyone's economic conditions is same, then there is also no business. If you calculate from terms of business transaction in the society, if everyone's economic situation is same, there is no business. What about those? What is the solution during the loss? Or suppose the owning class will run a business, but Marx does not say any solution during their loss. Okay, during their loss. So this is again another problem in Marxian philosophy. Okay, I'll just is there any point? Okay, this is the last point of the fourth one. If profit is shared, how to invest for new business? This is another problem. According to communism, profit has to be shared by all. But how to begin a new business without a huge sum of investment? This is the fourth problem that is posed in the philosophy of Marxism. So I wind up here for today.